All right, welcome to the first ever episode of Hit Talkin. Evan, yours truly from Ludex. We got Brock from Ludex, and we also have Coach Doug's. You guys know him already from Barstool Sports. This is a show just basically dedicated to, I want to say, the alternative world of sports. You know, we talk about gambling, we talk about collectibles, we're talking about cards, we're talking about sports themselves. So tune in this week on the Barstool. I think it was last week on the Barstool Sportsbook. We talked about this the other day just on a phone call, but a bachelor party. There's 10 dudes in the bachelor party. They all put in one leg for a parlay. They ended up winning the parlay, and they won as a whole, as 10 guys, they won $2,000. Probably the best party ever. But last week also, Lil Pole Man, great breaker on Instagram, got to give him a shout out. He pulled a Luka Doncic red. So assuming that's like it comes out of the box as a PSA 9, that's around probably a little over $2,000. So, Dougs, would you rather be with 9 of your friends and win $2,000 but only take home 200, or pull that Luka Doncic rookie and take home, a little over $2,000? If it's a PSA 9, if it's a PSA 10, obviously that probably cranks it up to $8,000 to $10,000.
Yeah. Well, so I guess there's two things you got to think about. Are you selling the Luka card? Or are you going to hold on to it? But I would have to go with the bachelor party. You're with the boys, you're having fun, and listen, I wouldn't even consider taking in the $200. Like in choosing the bachelor party parlay, I'm not even thinking about having $200 because I know I'm not going to have $200. No. That $2,000 is getting blown immediately that night. So it's not even a matter of, I got $200. It's no, this bachelor party is about to get a lot better.
Yeah, that's that. You know what? That is actually a really good point. Like nobody's taking $200. Nobody's gonna be like, you know what? I'll just take my 200. You're gonna go to the casino. You're gonna go to this casino. You're gonna withdraw $2,000 and you're gonna put it on black or red.
Yes.
And then it might get even better, or it gets who cares?
I'm thinking about it over and over again. I can absolutely see my friend group saying, "Hey, listen, we're going to double this down. We're going to double it down. We're going to put on red. We're going to put on black, whatever." Even if this is the beauty of hitting the parlay. Even if that money is immediately gone, the excitement from hitting the parlay, you'll never get away. Like they can't take that away. They can take the $2,000. They can take it real quick. But that excitement of like hitting that bet with your boys, like that, they can't take away.
And that is a pregame locker room speech.
That's right.
At the casino.
That's 100%. Ev, what do you? I mean, I think we know your answer, but
my answer, I forever winning a bet with our friends, with a group of friends, and like that's even like I would like even go of the route of like up to $5,000 because we tried to do this during the Super Bowl. We had I think 12 to 13 people put in $10 into a parlay. I think it was $10. I can't remember, but there was 12 lines and it was to win $40,000. And we were, I want to say, one Devonta Smith touchdown away. Which he like ran out of bounds at the 4-yard line in the fourth quarter, and like 3 yards of Kenneth Gainwell rushing. And just the excitement we had around the room, it was so much, like even like our girlfriends and wives were like, "This is crazy."
And that's on a loss.
Exactly. Right. So imagine if we could have won that.
It would have been amazing. It would have been amazing.
The only answer is the boys. Like that's where all the excitement. What's the fun in like Evan, right? He won that huge bet and he was by himself. So that only like limited how it's like he was excited, but like when you're with the boys, you're all together following the same thing. There's literally nothing better. It's like rooting for your home team. That's really what it comes down to. It's like
when I was by myself, the excitement lasted for 5 minutes. I sent a screenshot to the group and that was it. But like when you're with the guys, when you're with your friends, like you're going to be talking about that for the rest of the night.
Yeah, absolutely. Hanging out with the guys and talking about their first night, that there's a lot different than getting like a thumbs up on your text. Like, oh, congrats.
Right.
Exactly. I will say this though. there is most definitely one of the guys in every group that would say like, "Hey, we just won $2,000. Who should I send my Venmo request to?"
Oh, I can. As we were talking about this, I can think of our friend groups and who that would be.
We all know there's an image in your head.
Guys like that.
Yeah,
there's the one guy that's
watching this. We know.
You know.
You know.
You know. Exactly. No, yeah, you're there to have fun. It is. We talked about the other day. Like gambling is entertainment, and so that at the end of the day, that's why I bet $10 because if I bet any more than that, it would not be entertaining. It would be stress. And like some people, some people love throwing $500 on a game. Some people like riding roller coasters. Some people like horror movies. If that that scare from the horror movie is like what gets you off and like what that's exciting to you, that's cool. It's not for me. Out soon enough, I'm gonna buy the new Prism box this year, and it's gonna be the same feeling when I open that 12th pack and there's a I don't know Tampa Bay Bucks offensive lineman signature and like that's the hit of the box. I'm gonna feel sick. But I'm still doing it anyway.
And what's worse, right, is because I've thought about this, right? You spend $1,800 on the box or whatever it is. Do you know what does it retail at?
This year it's only $750.
Yeah.
No, that's a lot.
They actually kind of brought it down to a normal level. Still with great rookies. There's still great rookies in this.
Such good rookies.
Yeah.
You get the hobby, right? Or you make the bet, right? Both lose, okay? You have the bet slip, you have the hobby box. I would think, now that I'm thinking about it, I think the hobby box is worse because at least the bet slip I got to go look for. Like I can bury that in the back of my brain where this stupid hobby box is sitting in front of me with all these cards that sure, maybe one of them pop off, but I think in that instance at like that level, cards are worse.
Yes. Absolutely. Because now you just have a box of cards that what are you going to do with? Every time you see it, it's a constant reminder, hey, you're an idiot for buying it.
Yeah, I got a ton of those right back here.
Yeah, and that's my whole desk. My desk is full of boxes. So yeah, that's how I feel about it. It's at a certain point, I would absolutely just take the bets, just take the initial loss. It sucks to begin with, but then it goes away. Rather than again, you open the box, it's just and you have a whole box, and then what do you do with it? You got to go find a local card shop because you don't want to throw them away because maybe a kid will like it. And then you're thinking like, well, what kid wants this stupid card anyway? It's just
But at the same time, you still get something. But I agree with you guys. But I'm just playing devil's advocate. You still get something from the cards. But as you said, the bet slip, it just goes out into the void of the internet, and you'll never have to see it again.
Yeah, and I that's just all there is to it. Again, I say this as I plan on. There's a guy with 137. Lou, I think Lou Janot is his name. But we're gonna open up a box.
Yeah, Lou.
Yeah, we're gonna open up a box of Prism. It is like they're doing a trade night at Bleecker Trading here in Manhattan. So we're gonna open a box. But again, I say I would rather have the failed bet slip, even though I know like I'm gonna open up this box and it's probably gonna be garbage.
All right, hold on. Level of confidence, boys. Okay, this might seem obvious, but I don't know. Do you feel more confident in making a single bet again of that $700 price tag, or it's taking a picture, or ripping the wax?
Always the bet. I always feel more confident in the bet because when I make a parlay or I make like whatever kind of bet, I like do my research and I take time. I don't rush it. So I'm like, I think I get in my head, but I'm always just like every bet I place, I'm like, this is the one.
Yeah.
Every box I rip, I'm like, here we go again. Why am I doing it? Every time I rip open wax, I'm like, why am I doing this?
I think it depends on the bet because I mean, I'm about to live stream. We're gonna have fun for March Madness here. I picked these 4 teams. I picked Tennessee because Tennessee got me my first national title. I haven't watched outside of Florida State beating Miami in the regular season. I have not watched one basketball game this season. I have no idea what I'm doing. but I want a crazy parlay just in case it hits, and so I picked this. That's where my mind is. It depends on what we're doing it for.
You do player props, you become so attached to those one players. Is there anyone on your banned list that you will never bet on ever again? I have a list probably this long of people that are banned.
Yeah, I tell myself that I have a list, and I'm sure there's a running list. It doesn't matter though. I break that rule every time. Last year it was betting on the Pittsburgh Maulers. This year it'll be betting on like the Orlando Guardians, who are still winless in the XFL. I'm going to tell myself they burned me last week. They burned me week 2. I'm never going to do that again. But we'll have to see what the line is next week.
Brock, who's on your banned list?
2 come to mind, and one of them's more recent. This is nothing personal if somehow you do hear this. Josh Giddey just ruins every – and I want to go back to a little of the player prop pick philosophy. Doug, you raised something interesting. I think, now that I think about this, betting on player props is way more fun. But at that point in time, like, you're almost either everyone's friend or everyone's your enemy. Because if you're just picking a team, like, it's easy. Like, you're just kind of rooting for the flow of the game. Where, like, you might not want that 3 to go in, but you're alone on that. So it's like kind of this weird, like, volatile little lane. But as we said before, it's the most fun. Josh Giddey and Embiid. Every time I think that it makes sense, or it could be even just rebounds and assists, like both those dudes are good at it, never happens. What about you?
Me?
Give us a few, because he literally had how Portnoy has, like, he writes it on the ace of spades, like,
yeah.
Evan literally has like a list of like, no, we're not betting on him.
My top 2 that I always think about, like when it first banned, Luka Doncic, unfortunately, and Kevin Huerter. Kevin Huerter, every time I bet on him, he somehow continues to have the worst game. He like compiles the worst games. It's like, that was the worst game of his career. Next time I bet on him, that's the new worst game of his career. So Kevin Huerter for sure. Do you guys have any banned like products or like style, like boxes that you would never rip again? Like such like hangers or blasters or like Topps Chrome, something like that. Like what's one thing you'll see in the store and be like, I'll never rip that again?
There's quite a few. I mean, just probably like there's the 4th or 5th string products. Like they're fun. Maybe you pick up a blaster box for like $20. Like, okay, for one, I tell you, this one might be surprising. I'm not a big fan of Playbook.
Good take.
It's just one of those. It's just I'm not a fan of Playbook. I don't like the style. I think when you get like the locker or whatever they call it, where you get like 10 patches and whatnot, that's a cool card. But other than that, I don't like the cards themselves. I tell you what, plates and patches. And patches, I bought a box of those, and it was just like, I think my hit was like who am I thinking of? It was an old Bengals quarterback from like the 90s, maybe.
John Kidna?
No, it was like early 90s. Like
Boomer Eisen.
Say it again?
Boomer Eisen?
Esiason?
No, it was anyway. I bought plates and patches. It was like $700 because I'm an idiot, and I bought it for like it's not. There's no reason I should have spent the money, so it's on me. It's nobody else's fault. But it's just those 3rd string, products that I don't think anybody really cares about. You might get a cool couple of hits here and there, but other than that, I think I'm going to stay away from most of those.
Brock, I know yours, Brock. Let's see if you know yours. What's your banned product?
Well, it's not even a banned product. It's also a unit of measure. I might be off here, but this is because of recent experience. Prism blasters. I'll never rip a prism blaster unless it's given to me. We have a guy in the office who constantly gets them in, and I'm just whatever, $20. And it got to the point where, I mean, I'm probably down like $400.
Yeah.
What did you think I was going to say?
Flux.
They're not even worth mentioning. Delete this portion. Yeah. They don't get the free advertising.
Even and this, I don't. It's one of the
piss me off.
I try not to judge other people's, cards. Like if somebody loves a set, like if they love rookies and stars, like God bless. Like go spend all the money you want, have fun. I won't judge them for that. But when it comes to the Cleary cards, the Donruss Clearly, it's like they're literally just the Donruss cards, but they're acetate. They're just clear. I don't get it. But at the same time, I'm saying that as someone who does get paying $700 for a hobby box. So like I am totally aware of how stupid I am, but at the same time, I got to call out what I see as stupid. And the Clearly stuff, it just doesn't hit me. It doesn't look good to me. I don't get it.
Yeah. And for if some reason you pull a giant hit and you want to get degraded, those cards are hard to grade. Those acetate cards, like they're so easy to scuff and like ruin the ink or whatever you want to call it on them. Like that's it. I'm with you on that. The Clearly is definitely a weird one.
What's yours, Ev?
I have kind of just like in a way have banned all ripping.
Smart man.
Funny because I'd rather spend money like on like making a parlay. Like I really would. But like if I were to ban something, it would probably be blaster boxes. I have zero luck on blaster boxes ever. So like just as a whole, I will not buy another blaster box. Unless, of course, it's for this program and I win it. That's the only way I'm going to rip another blaster if I win it somehow.
If Panini or Topps or anyone wants us to like them more, then we'll like them more.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll open free boxes.
My mind is open. I can be changed. I'll leave it at that.
Nothing here is finite. We're not definitive about anything. I can be bought. I can.
100%. And I'm cheap. I really am.
I bought a box of Bowman U Chrome 2022. So it's the first, a fully official licensed hobby box or college card set. And the whole time I'm opening it, I'm just like, I was thankful I bought the hobby box. It was $150, so it wasn't too much.
Not bad at all.
No, and it was only $150. There were multiple packs in there that only had 2 or 3 cards instead of 4 cards, and it was just I can't imagine opening up like if I bought a hobby pack, just one of the packs, and spent I don't know $5-10 on it. And then you just open it up and it was like 2 cards of random players who might not make it, probably never will. But it was just if you're committed to a product, or at least if I'm committed to a product, I think I'm always going to say I will save up and buy the hobby box rather than spending, 1/10 of that on a blaster. Just the blaster, especially because we know there's so much product. I feel like I'd rather spend the money and end up with 2 not good hits than spend the money on blasters and just end up with a bunch of commons.
Yeah, there was a picture the other day I saw on Twitter. Maybe I could find it and bring it up post edit. But it's a like literally full shelves of blaster and retail product at like a Walmart or something. Yeah. And the guy was like, "This has been here for days." Like collectors are becoming super aware. Like if you're buying it for your kids, like that's cool. But like if you're buying it to like invest instead of collect, like people aren't like really investing in blaster boxes and retail products like that.
No, especially because like just a couple of years ago, like before the boom, you get a blaster box for $15-20.
Right.
Now they're 30, 35, 40. It's like at that point, I will buy the hobby box with a guaranteed hit. And that's probably what they want us to do. They're probably driving us towards that, but they are going to end up with just a bunch of full shelves.
So you brought up the Bowman University U, and we kind of talked about this yesterday. Do you like for instance, if Bryce Young, like are you valuing that card as his true rookie? And like the hobby doesn't. Do you disagree or do you agree with where that's going? Because we're seeing the McDonald's top stone.
Yeah, I would say as of right now, his rookie card will be his first NFL card. And I don't know if that'll change. I'll just say this. I doubt it will, just because you would have to change the minds of everyone in the hobby right now. Yeah. And I don't know how easily that's done. once people get in their head, hey, because even, the actual first card in his NFL jersey. I mean, we see the drop off from, especially in basketball. The basketball cards come out, and then just a couple of months later, the NBA cards come out. I see that drastic drop in college prices, and so based on that, I don't think that'll change. I think it is cool for people who want to collect that specific player or are fans of that school. I think that's great. And if you were wanting to, have a collection of that player, you can say, hey, I have his Bowman first and his NFL first. But other than that, I don't see it becoming a true rookie card.
Yeah. I mean, it's also like very new for basketball and football. So it's like in baseball, like obviously the Bowman Chrome first, like those are massive chase cards for baseball collectors. So like in a couple of years, maybe it'll be like kind of like a cool prospect-ish card for collectors. But I agree with you. I mean, I think they're good for people who love college football. I think that's one of the best things you could probably get if you're like a college football collector. But as a rookie card, I would consider that not rookie.
What will be interesting is, like, to your guys' point, it'll take some time, but what will be interesting, I think, specifically with basketball, because the tournament really creates like stars overnight, right? So like I'm thinking of Steph. Like I feel like if there was a Steph, like someone like Steph who did what Steph did in the tournament, that could be where you start to see people like, oh shit, like I'm spending thousands to get this guy's card before he gets to the NBA. Versus like, I feel like it's harder now because there's social media, guys are already good. So there's not a lot of surprise there. So I think if someone like surprises us and kind of becomes a budding star in front of us, that's where you maybe could see some early value.
You could see it.
Yeah,
I would see that would be a lot of buys. Yeah. Like people would buy it a lot of buys. I don't know how the value would be like monumental, but I think there'd be a lot of sales.
Yeah. And when you're talking about that, you're talking about people that become fans of the player themselves. And so that would be more prospect. Again, I'm kind of an outlier here because I stick to like a very small personal collection, and maybe I keep up with the market and everything, but as far as personal collection, like, what cards I have on me, I don't really prospect too much or, speculate. Maybe it's something I get into. I mean, I'm gambling. Why not, gamble with cards too? But for me, if I'm buying a card, I want the Trevor Lawrence card, not because Trevor Lawrence is going to be a, Hall of Fame quarterback that wins 10 Super Bowl rings, which I think he will. But it's because he's a Jaguar. Like, that's why I want him.
Justin Fields is going to do the same. So I feel you on that.
Yeah, absolutely. 20 rings between them. Yeah. Over the next 25 years.
They can alternate. We don't want to get greedy with like back to back wins. So they can alternate Jags, Bears.
A shared dynasty. That's it.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to close out here. We each made a parlay and we sent it to each other. So this is for either the Thursday night games of March Madness, Sweet 16, or the Friday night games. Our deal is here. Whoever gets the closest to winning their parlay or win, hopefully we all win, but whoever gets the best value or the most wins gets let's say we did $10 a parlay, so they get a $30 product of some whatever cards they want, and we'll rip it on the next episode. So nice. With that being said, let's see. I'm pulling up our parlays. Doug's, let's see yours. So Doug's was going all tonight.
The whole slate today.
Which I'm like against you, which is kind of fun. Yeah. So we'll put up the parlay. Doug's is at Michigan State -1.5, Arkansas +4, Tennessee -5.5, and Gonzaga +1.5. That was you, right?
Yeah, that's me. It always gets me with like when we're talking about less than 2 points, that I just, because part of me wants to go like, just take the money line. Just take the money line. It's right there. It's just a few more points. And then, but I know in the back of my head, I'm like, I would be so mad with myself if they cover but they didn't win. I just can't. I can't do it. I can't do it. So I take the points, even though I'm leaving a little meat on the bone there.
Yeah, and even I mean, it's Vegas is these handicappers are they are fortune tellers.
Yeah.
Like it's I get afraid going up against them sometimes. But Tennessee 5.5. I have, you know what? I'm gonna do.
Call 'em, dogs.
Yeah, Doug's got the
Tennessee.
Tennessee shirt on. He's ready to go.
There he
So
is.
I was planning on
Win
doing
your
my.
first patty.
I was planning on doing my Friday line, which will pull up, which is very safe. It's plus 633. But now that we've been talking, we've been sharing our gambling stories and everything like that. I'm going to go with my riskier bet, and I'm going to do my Thursday night, which is plus 1240. I got Gonzaga teased that at minus 3.5, Florida Atlantic plus 5.5, and then Kansas State also took the alternate line minus 5. So I'm like pretty much totally against Doug's here. So we'll start the rivalry tonight.
Let's do it.
What were your odds?
My odds were plus. I just lost it. Sorry.
No, I'm sorry.
I think I have like plus 1231.
I have plus 1240. So we're right there together.
Yeah.
You have a plus 1170.
I know. I'm the lowest, I think.
So you're plus 1170, just underneath us. Brock's going all tomorrow. Actually, 2 lines tomorrow, 1 tonight. Brock's got UCLA, so he's against the both of us, right? And
yeah, you have a Gonzaga.
Yeah, but here's where Brock gets a little crazy. He goes Princeton money line.
Blake Peters, if you're listening, brother, let's go.
Blake Peters went to our high school, but he's about 12.
I told him.
He's like 12 years younger than us. And then Alabama money line. So
that's a smart move. It's a smart move.
Brock did pick FDU over Purdue straight up. So
you're saying
that's the only thing I've done right. So
yeah, exactly.
When you're just missing, you just throw shit at the wall and see what happens.
Yeah. and then say, hey, look what I did. Yeah.
That's right. I mean, look, Princeton, Ivy League, Evanston connection. There might be something there.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll find out. Yeah.
Well, whoever wins the parlay challenge will obviously get to rip a pack of their choice on the next show. So, boys, think about what you guys want to buy me, and we'll go from there.
That's right. Everyone think of it, and good luck, I guess, today. I need a free.
Yeah, good luck. If all 3 of us win, then we all get to rip a pack. So
it's a 3-way.
Yeah. Then we're all ripping packs, and then we'll do a challenge, and we'll use the Ludex app to see whose pack was worth the most.
There we go. Now that I'm interested in.
That's a win-win-win, we call it.